Let's jump right into the first question of the day, which I'm super excited to speak on this. And it is for those of you out there who have not heard the return of Rap City. Yes, you heard me correctly. Rap City, hosted by Big Tigger, is returning. It is going to be obviously a 2021 version, but it is due to come back out. So, with that being said,
I just wish he was back in his mama baby. I mean, I just wish he was back in his mama basement.
You wish he was back in the mama basement.
Yeah, I just Rap City the basement.
Yeah,
I know, right? It was Rap City the basement. I think Tigger done probably advanced out of the basement by now, but we'll see what he do.
See, that's what happens when when you started from the bottom. Now you there. You know,
started from the bottom. Now you here. There you go. So, question of the day for that topic, fellas, is: would Rap City be any good in today's era of hip hop? So to start us off with that question, I'm going to go ahead and throw it to Mr. PAT, our resident rapper and overall dope MC. What say you, sir?
Yeah. All right. This is a good question. All right. So I might be showing my age on this one, but I am skeptical about Rap City coming back in today's era of hip hop. I'm going to just be real. I'm skeptical about that. Now, I do understand that Rap City will just be a one night thing. Basically, it's something before the 2021 BET Hip Hop Awards, which is coming out in October 5th. But just off the top of my head, I can't see it being something to really jump up and down about.
Maybe. Wait, it's only one night?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. When you read the article, and I will post that link in the description. But it's just going to be for one night. It's going to be right before the 2021 BET Hip Hop Awards.
You know, it's so funny right now.
Coming out October 5th.
Hold on. Sorry to cut you off. You know what's so funny right now? Remember how earlier I said, he's not going to be in his mama basement? Now I feel like his mama basement probably just got re-renovated, or they sold the house so he can no longer be in the basement anymore. That's what just hit my mind.
True.
That's what just hit my mind.
So random, but I appreciate that.
No, because what Pat said, it was only happening for one day. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Did someone sold the house? So there's no more basement no more?
Oh, wow. Damn.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, that's an interesting aspect, but I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. PAT.
Yeah, I mean, one night, because I heard about Rap City coming back, and I was like, oh shit, they're really gonna bring this back, like for real. And then I read the article, and they said it's gonna be basically just right. It's just gonna be before the 2021 BET Hip Hop Awards. Basically, it's just gonna be like a celebration, something for nostalgia, pretty much. But that's it, at least for now. I don't know, maybe if it does well enough, they might try to, do more. Who knows? We're in an era of reboots, so they might try to reboot it and bring it back.
They need to stop with all these reboots, though, because some of them have not been great, and a lot of them has been not so bad, but it still wasn't great.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't really think they should bring Rap City back, but maybe I'll check it out. But otherwise, I'm not that interested, especially if it's going to be today's rappers all over it. Honestly, I'll pass. Like, I'm just being real. I'll pass. Now, as for the question at hand, would Rap City be any good in today's era of hip hop? My answer to that would be no. Honestly, I just don't see it. I don't see Rap City in this day and age having the same magic that it had back in the 90s and the early 2000s. Rap, as we all know, was different a decade or so ago. There was a time when there was more of a focus on talent. Now, as time went on, things became less about talent and more about gimmicks. There was a time when
Agreed.
you had to have bars. You had to have bars. You had to have lyrics. And today's rap just doesn't have it.
They want 0 bars. They just want 0 bars.
Right. It just doesn't have it. Today's era of rap, it's just not it. Now, you do have some exceptions. There are always exceptions to the rule. But overall, in this day and age, having bars is not as important as it used to be. Now, imagine bringing Rap City back and having a bunch of rappers who don't give a shit about bars going into the booth. They're either not going to go in the booth or they're going to pull out their cell phone and read their lyrics while they're in the booth. Now, someone who would be in defense of this generation of rap.
So much.
See, there you go laughing. And
It's
like
so
I said,
much truth. That's why I'm just laughing and
Yeah.
and then you try to knock down my
with
joke
what he's
with the
saying.
basement. Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm just being real. Like I'm just being real. Now, someone who would be in defense of this generation of rap would tell me that rappers back in the day used to recite verses off of their albums. Okay, that person or persons wouldn't be lying because that is true. However, it was still good to hear a rapper spit quotable verses in the booth. Keyword quotable, which means they were dope verses. So even if it came off the album, it was dope. And it was good to hear at the time. At least we knew we were going to get some bars. Aside from that, we knew Big Tigger would start things off with an actual freestyle or an off the dome, as some would call it. Now, speaking of which, for those who don't know, a freestyle can actually be pre-written. Now, here's a little history lesson. Back when hip hop was on the come up, a freestyle could also be pre-written, or it could be a memorized rhyme, and it would be called a freestyle because it was free of style. So in other words, the rhyme didn't have to be about anything specific. You could rap about whatever and not stick to a specific subject matter. Now, whenever a rap was spontaneous and happening at the moment, that was considered an off the head or an off the dome. So with all of that being said, it's actually not incorrect to say that a rapper spit a freestyle in the booth. The fact is, back when Rap City was hot, we knew rappers weren't coming to spit no bullshit verse. We knew that whatever rhymes they were coming with would be sharp. There were a lot of special moments and standout performances back then. I just don't see that happening in this day and age. I just don't see it. I mean, I could be wrong. There's always that possibility. I could be wrong. I'm not saying my opinion's law, but let's just be real. Can we really see rappers these days getting in the booth and like really spitting some hot shit? I'm talking about most of them. I'm not talking about like a few here and there. I'm not talking about like a J. Cole, a Kendrick, or even like a Drake or somebody like. I'm talking about the mass majority. I don't see it. Straight up, I don't see it. I just don't see that happening in this day and age. I'm just saying it again. I just don't see it. Now, you know, it could be hot for this generation of rap fans, but hip hop heads like myself and everyone on this panel, we know that we're not going to get that same quality. Rap music nowadays is way too commercialized. It's way too watered down, and it's way too bubblegum. Rap nowadays is more of a product. It's a product. Right. Yeah, it's a product that is cookie cutter and uses a template. This template brings in whoever fits the template, uses them up, and then cycles them out for the next young somebody or little somebody. Basically, we're dealing with a conveyor belt. That's what this shit is these days. It's a conveyor belt. So I say no. Rhapsody in this day and age, on a consistent basis, would not be good. The only way I could see it being good is if they focused more on the veteran rappers who take their craft more seriously. And I'm going to just end it on that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what's up. All right. Thank you for sharing. So I'm going to definitely go ahead and speak on this. And I will say that we are very similar in thought on this subject, which should not be surprising for most fans who listen to us or our supporters. As you mentioned, all of us on this panel definitely have a ear for hip hop, I could comfortably say. And so for me, the question of would Rhapsody be any good in today's era of hip hop? And just learning that it is only for one night is definitely very interesting. But from my perspective, it depends on the context of the show. Because if Big Tigger is going to ask them to get in the booth and freestyle, just like you mentioned, that's going to be dastardly, right? Right, that's going to end horribly.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Don't worry.
As you mentioned, no one, well, okay, I'm not going to say no one, right? Because, I mean, let's keep it a buck, right? A fair number of today's rappers, save, say, the Kendricks, J. Cole's, and Big Sean's of the world, are totally dependent upon dope beats and outlandish behavior to sell. That's all they do.
Yep.
They produce music. They got a dope beat with no context to the word. And then they use their outlandish behavior to connect with equally outlandish people. And that's how they sell. Okay, so
correct.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Eman.
No, I was just saying correct, but I'm going to wait my turn because I'm going to show you how it goes down in the new Rhapsody basement. So, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yes, sir. So let me elaborate a little bit on that last part, right? The part about the rappers of today basically being dependent on their dope beat and their outlandish behavior. So my prime example is DaBaby, right? In my opinion, he's not particularly lyrical, nor are any of his songs outstandingly memorable. Okay, this is just my opinion.
Are we talking about the one that's wearing the diaper, or I'm
talking about the one that wears the diapers, DaBaby? Right. This is just my opinion on that particular person. So, in my opinion, right, he's not particularly lyrical. His songs are not that memorable, right? I don't think he's made a classic. And so, therefore, it seems like his most valued talent is in his ability to be outrageous. You know, he is a histrionic. And for people who don't know what that is, look it up. Okay. He is utilizing his fame to create a fan base that will purchase his music and support him and etc. just on his outlandish behavior. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I feel like
that's true.
Some very creative material at times, right? But it's often overshadowed by all his theatrics. I'm saying, so like, hopefully it'll settle down someday and we'll get to see some of his creativity in a different way, especially after his
Are we sure
backlash.
about this?
Well, I didn't say it will. I said hopefully, right? And I'm saying do it. Hopefully, some of his behavior, because if you look at the recent backlash, his behavior has settled down as a result of that. And so I'm saying maybe he'll take this time to continue to be more creative. And as Pat was mentioning earlier, to put some more respect towards his craft. That is what I would like to see. Now, back to the matter at hand, right? The other side of it is the cultural aspect of the return of Rap City. Because when we were younger, Rap City, at least for those where I'm from, which you both are, right? And a lot of folks, I can speak to how I grew up with Rap City, right? It was something to look forward to, right? Rap City, along with the early years of 106 and Park and all of that, was like, it was something to look forward to. It was a hype around it because you knew you were going to see like a grittier side of your favorite artist, right? So like, especially during the interviews where they would be asked like direct questions about a beef that they had with another artist, and there were like no cut cards held, right? And in today's rap world, beefs are mostly cooked up propaganda by record companies to sell an often fake persona of the rapper, in my opinion, if I'm just being 100.
Facts.
You know, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, PAT.
No, I was just saying facts. Like you're speaking the truth. That's really what it is nowadays.
Right. So, okay. So let me clarify too. So now that's not to say there aren't some very real rap beefs happening in music, right? And unfortunately, there have even been some losses and some actual casualties. But that's my point. Back in the day, post Biggie and Pac, especially after that whole incident occurred, rappers were laying their beefs out on tracks. That's when you were getting the best of Jay-Z versus Nas, and you had rappers going hard, and it was diss tracks coming out one behind each other, and the lyrics was so nasty, and the whole thing was laid out on tracks. But nowadays, everyone's weak. Excuse me, this is how I feel about it, but everyone's weak and rushing to pick up a gun. Right? Because they think that makes them somehow authentic in their made up persona.
No, that makes him a whole ass nigga. But just
and you know what? And it's sad. It's sad in my opinion.
Real sad.
Because it's not. They've lost the essence of what rap is supposed to be about. When rap was created, it was created to uplift our community. It was the height of the crack era in the 80s, right? The crack numbers were out of this world. Ghettos were increasing in populations where Black people used to be middle class. It was, the intent behind it was so fucking pure. So to see what it has developed to today is sad. Now, to relate that back to Rap City, the point that I was getting at is Rap City is nostalgia from the good old days where rappers were focused on their craft, their content, their lyricism, putting out good music, right? And unfortunately, I don't think just by the show returning that we're going to get back to those good old days. So that's my opinion on it. I'm going to go ahead and throw it to you, E-Man, to wrap us up. What say you, sir?
Thank you. But I'm still laughing because the simple fact is only coming out for just one day, one night.
I know,
one night, 24 hours. So I'm going to say it like this.
I think it's all for the best. Honestly,
you started in your mama's basement, then you got out the basement. Now you're not even going back to the basement. You temporarily renting your own mama's basement for 24 hours and whatnot. Just saying, just to put it out there. Now I ain't got no shade on them, but just saying that you're renting your mama's basement for 24 hours for somewhat of a nostalgic feel, But it's not even shocking. I don't even know what this. It's just not shocking because once PAT told me it was only coming out for 24 hours, I was like, yeah, it's definitely being rebooted, but it I don't think it even going anywhere after that. So, because right now, like, I'll just probably give everyone a taste if Rap City came out in this new modern era, you probably have Young Thug in there probably going like he and ha and be like, cool, great, or apple soda or some shit like that. I don't know, but you'll probably do about some weird beat and whatnot, Then you probably got a little Uzi Vert over there, probably going to be like, pow pow, I shot you and I did something cool, and I'm on my board or some shit like that, But that's the type of rappers we have today, So it's not even about bars. It's about how cool I look because I have a status because I'm called a rapper, So they're trying to make a rapper not be an occupation. They wanted to be more like a title,
Right. It's more of a title, more of a look. It's not even about the skill. It's more about being swaggy,
Yeah. It ain't about what you can do on the mic and whatnot. Because I can tell everyone like this, many people don't know that rappers, especially, in the late 70s and 80s, they got joked on. Like they were actually shitted on, like really, a lot of them some of them got booed off stage and whatnot.
Oh, that used to happen a lot in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. You whack. You got booed.
Yeah. And people got booed, so when this thing started, there was no love to it. Like there was not much love to it, like at all. You have West Coast hating East Coast rappers. You got West Coast rappers that don't even want to perform in the East Coast. You got East Coast rappers that don't want to even perform in the West Coast. They hated the West Coast, like type of like groove, like G-funk thing, and they just hated everyone on the East side. On the East Coast and whatnot, who was spitting raw lyrics and whatnot, who lived in the gutter. So there's been no love for this thing. Now we talking about modern age. It's not even about love anymore. Y'all don't, it's not even the respect of the craft. Y'all just don't give a fuck. It's just about, let me put a little bit of dollars in my pocket. Everything feels good. Everything feels great. And then people shit on us talking about, we miss the nostalgic feel of like what it was because people respected what others did because they actually got booed off stage. Like I can't even imagine a performance now that people are getting booed off stage. Like I can't even imagine a show right now, any rapper stepping up, performing with someone saying boo, get off stage,
Yeah, it's accountability. That's the difference. It was accountability back then.
Yeah. Just to interject real quick. So as far as the booing off stage, honestly, I think it should go back to that. And the reason I'm saying that is because I feel like if it gets back to that point where people actually started booing some of these rappers off stage, it'll make these rappers think more about actually taking their craft more seriously. Like if a rapper sucks, they just need to get booed off the stage. Like it needs to go back to the days of like the Apollo, where like the Sandman used to come out. And, it needs to go back to that straight up. And we need the best of the best. And if you're not good, you get booed, and that's that, and that's the end of your career. Like I think it needs to go back to that. Seriously.
I definitely agree.
That sounds good to me, but I think we have too many sheep that wouldn't go along with that because we definitely have too many people that buy into all this fake persona bullshit, and so they're willing to rep their artist or whoever they're a fan of, even when it's clear that they're trash. I mean, like Pat, we see the evidence of that in that rap group that we're in where
Oh man.
people just say the most outlandish shit. Like we literally had a post the other day where someone literally posted and said that Project Pat was a better rapper than Mace. And I ain't gonna go into
Whoa,
I'm
whoa,
not
Yeah,
gonna go
that-
into a
whoa.
tangent,
whoa.
but listen, and I fucked with some 3-6 beats and all of that stuff. And
Same here.
I've heard the Project Pat. Yeah, I've heard his content, but ain't a single freaking thing on this planet that can convince me that he was a better rapper than Mace.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. Whoever
It's
said that.
crazy. It's
Yeah,
buffoonery.
Yeah, they say some real like stupid shit in that group. Like I don't even
Stupid
respond to.
shit.
Yeah, just some real, like you said, buffoonish type shit. So
And they doubled down on it.
yeah, they
because
double down on it.
I feel like what's happening is that sense of the South really needing to stick together and uplift their rappers. I mean, back in the day, it was significant too, but now it's like quantified to like the highest level. They will fight to the death claiming that some of the wackest fucking people from the South are in fact the greatest rappers or great or goats or etc. simply because of this need to stand behind their whack ass artists. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, no, you're
You're
absolutely
making
correct.
sense.
It's a lot of yes men and a lot of sycophants. That's pretty
Exactly.
much what's going on right now. You know,
Fanboys and girls.
right?
So, do you guys remember Rich Boy and whatnot? That rapper
Mhm.
from Alabama.
Yeah, I remember.
So at the time, I was actually in Alabama. Those
Mhm,
people worship the feet of that man because he was the only rapper to break out and state that he was from Alabama. They wanted that man to say he was from Georgia. He refused to say it and whatnot, you know?
Yeah.
And
Nah, that's whole facts. Because Gucci Man was technically born in Alabama, but he claims Atlanta. I even want to say he was born and lived in Alabama for a good portion of his life, and then he moved to Atlanta, and so he claims Atlanta. But
That-
yeah,
to me, he
I
looked like
consider claiming
he looked
Atlanta.
like Bama to me. He from Alabama, so I don't care what anybody say. That's just
Probably
me.
more. It's probably more marketable to rep Atlanta though. Just looking at it from that angle. I mean, I think you should rep where you from, wherever you were raised for most
Yeah.
of your life. But you know, Atlanta is definitely more marketable than Alabama.
And
So-
here
I
comes
think you hit the nail right on the head. Oh, I'm sorry, man.
No, you
I
good.
was
You
just
good.
gonna say, I think you hit the nail right on the head, P.A.T. Because let me be clear. Like, my daughter was born in Alabama. I lived there for 5 years. My fiance is from Alabama, and I actually happen to know a lot of rappers from Alabama who, believe it or not, do have gifts. Like, they are lyricists, but they are not out. And they have not had major success or major hits or etc. because they've also elected to not have to deal with all the fame stuff and then try to put their music out independently because they are a bunch of conspiracy theories about the Illuminati stuff. So I throw that out there. But yes, I think Pat hit the nail on the head where it's more marketable to rep Atlanta than it is Alabama. But I think we went off on a tangent. Our apologies, E-Man. Go ahead.
No, you good. Because
finish
I
us
was
off,
actually
sir.
about to follow up on how they did Naughty by Nature and whatnot. Trying to tell them they claim them from, you know, they from New York, knowing that, you know, they rep Jersey
from
hard
Jersey.
and one.
Yeah, Jersey. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I tell everybody, you know, everyone keeps thinking, you know, Jersey ain't rough. Like, yo, Jersey is rough.
Oh yeah, Jersey's definitely rough.
Hella rough.
Yeah,
So
I
I
don't
tell
know.
everybody,
I don't know who's saying that.
yeah.
Right. Exactly.
My sister lives in Trenton, and then my sister used to live in Newark and whatnot. And my aunt used to live up in, you know, Newark, and you know, I've been around Newark, Jersey City. So I've been around that place. And yo, I seen some things when I was a kid. But yeah, like I have a lot of respect for Jersey because I feel like Jersey's like almost like my second home because like I went there a lot when I was a kid. So and I really respect them. So it was weird to hear like how they wanted like, Naughty by Nature to rep New York, maybe because it's the whole big city, knowing it from Jersey. And it's so crazy that a lot of them don't even want to say shit, but a lot of those motherfuckers who actually swear they're from New York, a lot of them live in Jersey and whatnot. So I'm just putting it out there. Some of them be lying like shit that they be like, yo, damn near, they grew up in New York, but then afterwards they move out to Jersey and whatnot, and they be lying like shit. So sorry,
Well,
I had to go on this.
I think it's the same thing with like the whole Alabama and Atlanta thing. Like
It's the same thing.
New York is more marketable, but the thing is, New Jersey. I mean, you got Redman, Naughty by Nature. I know Raw Digger. Like there are some rappers, like some well-known rappers who are from Jersey. So if a rapper is to come out from New Jersey and rep New Jersey, that I don't think that's a big problem really. But I mean, I could see it on the flip side where, there might be a few of them who probably will latch on to New York and try to rep New York. But yeah, there's some that rep Jersey proudly. And I mean, I don't think there's any problem with that because I mean, yeah, Jersey's next to New York. And, some people might not see it quite like they see in New York because New York is like the major city. But, Jersey, I think Jersey gets its props, hip hop wise anyway. And I mean,
totally.
Queen Latifah was from New Jersey also.
Correct.
Redman, do you know the amount of people from Jersey with talent and that have stepped out and said I'm from Jersey and etc. Like,
right.
I don't understand why anyone would not want to rep Jersey.
Right. Exactly.
The only one I don't acknowledge is Fetty Wap because he just the name itself sounds silly and whatnot. Like who would name himself a rapper, call himself Fetty Wap and whatnot? To me, in my mind, I feel like he's like a broke down like Whopper and whatnot from Burger King and whatnot. But that's just me. But that's just me. But
I'm just saying, we just throwing out because you got that. I mean, like, isn't Joe Budden technically from Jersey?
Yeah, that's Jersey City
that's another
all
one
day.
too. Yeah, and
that's Jersey
you got
City all
Joe
day.
Budden, Redman, Lauryn Hill, Queen Latifah. I mean, what?
Yo,
what are we talking about?
They tried to tell Joey R. He told me, he's like, yo, man, I'm from Jersey City and whatnot.
Yeah, he let him know. And he repped it proudly too.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Jersey City's behind Joe Budden. Like Joey, like, they love him out there. Like, yeah, it's for him. I give him his mad respect because when he came out, they wanted to clown him. Yet he was a really good lyricist and whatnot. But Jersey City is behind, like Joe Budden. So, but just to I wouldn't say finish my thoughts, but continue my thoughts. But this whole Rhapsody thing, I don't know what plan they got, for them, they think like the whole 24 hours thing and just be like, well, we're just going to end it from there. And I feel like this might just be like the final ending, Big Tigger got out from his mama basement. Now he's this big radio personality. Now he got to go back in his mama. You got to rent out his mama basement for 24 hours and try to bring out that same nostalgia. And I'm like, nah. Like I'd rather you just not bring it back and whatnot, because you bring it back for 24 hours, that's like me finding $1, on the floor and it disappears, when I walk away and whatnot. And that shit didn't even make sense what I just said, right? It didn't make sense, because if I go pick up $1, and if I drop it and when I turn my back, it disappears. That's what's about to happen to Rhapsody. It's going to be on. It's going to be there. Then poof, no more, and, and I feel like we just need to stop these whole reboot thing. Like if you're going to bring it back towards like you grown the thing where it's going back to its same feel, nostalgia, and, growing it back as a platform. You just bringing it back just to, get people wet under their tongue because, ooh, Rhapsody is back. I'm like, nigga, please just stop trying to use money or try to use things to help people, still enjoy what we still enjoyed when we were kids and whatnot. If you ain't gonna bring it back, don't bring it back and whatnot. And this is why I'm mad, because the simple fact that they did it to the whole album, to the Chickmunks, and DuckTales and whatnot. They ruined two good cartoon franchises. They thought bringing it back, then you modernize it, and the kids don't like it, and then you ruin the shit, and the shit only gets 2 seasons in and whatnot. Don't bring shit back unless you're gonna bring it back to the nostalgia that what it was and whatnot, so we can continue good shit. Stop bringing shit back because it makes money, it makes people feel good, and then afterwards, when you modernize it, the kids be like, "Boo," or we be like, "Boo, that shit sucks" and whatnot. Stop trying to play off people's emotions, and I'd rather it go back down into the basement where it was, where Rhapsody ended. I want it to stay right there. I do not need 24 hours of you trying to make me feel good because you're bringing something back and whatnot. Then you will have shitty rappers on there and then not have good people doing the shit that we need and whatnot. Just keep it back where it was. All right. Stop playing on people's emotions because you want things to come back. All right. Like that shit just needs to stop and whatnot. So I'm going to just end my thoughts on that. We need to just end on no more Rhapsody. Just leave it where it was, where it ended, and not bringing it back for the next 24 hours.
All righty. Thank you, sir. So it sounds like we're all in unison on the fact that Rhapsody just ain't gonna cut it these days, because rappers not necessarily cutting these days, with the exception of a few.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, come on.
All right. I feel you, sir. I feel you.